Today, we're going to talk about a country that is facing one of the most heartbreaking fates in human history. A country so small, so beautiful, and so unique, yet it might become the very first nation on earth to completely disappear from the world map. Imagine this, your home, your land, your entire country wiped out. Not because of war, not because of politics, but simply because the ocean swallowed it. This is not science fiction. It's happening right now to a real nation, the Pacific island country of Tuvalu. Tuvalu has a population of just around 11,000 people. It's tiny, but its story is enormous. Because if Tuvalu vanishes, it won't just be about one country sinking. It will be a warning for all of humanity. Where is Tuvalu located? Let's start by placing Tuvalu on the map. It's a small island nation located in the South Pacific Ocean, not too far from Australia. And when I say small, I mean really small. In terms of land area, Tuvalu is the fourth smallest country in the world, right after Vatican City, Monaco, and Nauru. Altogether, the country is spread across just 26 square kilometers. That's less than the size of a medium-sized city anywhere else in the world. Tuvalu isn't one single island. It's made up of 9 separate islands, and out of these, 6 are something called atolls. Now, what exactly are atolls? Think of them as rings of land formed by ancient volcanoes. When volcanoes erupt and then slowly sink beneath the ocean, corals grow around them. Over time, soil and sand collect on top, creating ring-shaped islands with shallow lagoons in the middle. The Maldives is probably the most famous example of atolls, but Tuvalu is another. Where the problem lies, atolls are flat, very flat. Unlike big mountainous islands, they barely rise above sea level. That makes them incredibly vulnerable to the rising oceans. Let me explain Tuvalu's fragile geography. On average, Tuvalu's land stands just 2 meters above sea level. Its highest point, only 4.6 meters. To put it into perspective, a 2-story building is taller than the highest natural point in Tuvalu. That means even a strong wave, a high tide, or a tropical storm can flood large parts of the islands. Tuvalu's capital, Funafuti, is especially fragile. From above, it looks like a long, thin strip of land, so narrow that an airport runway takes up half the island. And now, add climate change to this already fragile geography, and you can see the problem. Let's talk about the rising ocean. All around the world, the polar ice caps are melting, glaciers are shrinking, and oceans are rising. But here's the bad news. The sea level around Tuvalu is rising faster than the global average. NASA's data shows that between 1993 and 2023, sea levels around Tuvalu rose by 15 centimeters. That's 1.5 times faster than the rest of the world. And projections are alarming. By 2050, sea levels around Tuvalu are expected to rise by 20 to 30 centimeters. By 2100, they could rise more than a meter. What does this mean for everyday life? Right now, Tuvalu experiences flooding about 5 days a year. By 2050, that will rise to 25 days a year. And by 2100, Tuvalu will be flooded for nearly a third of the year, 100 days. Imagine trying to live in a place where your home is underwater for months at a time. It's like a country with no high ground. If a coastal city like Mumbai or Dhaka faces flooding, people can move inland to higher ground. But Tuvalu doesn't have that option. Its entire geography is flat. There's nowhere higher to go. So, what can be done? Well, Tuvalu has tried a few solutions. They've started creating artificial land, building higher ground by importing soil and sand. By 2024, they had built about 18 to 19 acres of new elevated land designed to last at least until 2100. They've also built protective barriers and seawalls to push back the waves. But these projects cost enormous amounts of money. Unlike the Maldives, which funds climate defenses through its massive tourism industry, Tuvalu is poor and remote. It doesn't have resorts or luxury travel income. Most of its government funding comes from aid given by bigger countries like the UK, Australia, and New Zealand. And the sad truth is that no matter how many walls or artificial lands they build, Tuvalu cannot fight the ocean forever. Agreement of climate migration or the first climate visa. That's why Tuvalu has prepared a Plan B. In 2022, Tuvalu signed a groundbreaking agreement with Australia called the Falapili Union Treaty. This treaty offers something never seen before in human history, a climate visa. Each year, Australia will grant permanent residency to 280 Tuvaluans. Over time, this could give the entire population a chance to migrate before their homeland disappears. The process is fair. Instead of choosing based on wealth, education, or age, Australia is using a lottery system. Every citizen can apply, and names are chosen randomly. Already, more than 8,750 people, 82% of Tuvalu's population, have applied. It's bittersweet. While this gives people hope for survival, it also means saying goodbye to the land of their ancestors. And even if everyone leaves, the question remains, will Tuvalu still exist as a country? Next step, the digitalization of Tuvalu. Tuvalu has found an extraordinary answer. They are turning their entire nation into a virtual country. The government is 3D scanning every house, every tree, every rock, every cultural artifact. They're creating a digital replica of Tuvalu in the cloud, a place where their people can preserve their identity, their traditions, and their memories, even if the physical islands sink. Tuvalu's constitution has even been amended to declare that it will remain a sovereign country, even without land. They're introducing digital passports, planning for elections, registrations, and government services to all continue online. It may sound futuristic, but it's also heartbreaking. A country being forced to live in the digital world because its real one is vanishing. Another factor is global warming, but Tuvalu's story isn't just about Tuvalu. Many other low-lying island nations are in danger. Kiribati, the Marshall Islands, Nauru, and even the Maldives. Some are buying land abroad to prepare for relocation. Others are planting mangroves or restoring coral reefs to act as natural barriers against the sea. But let's be clear, these countries are not the cause of climate change. Their carbon footprint is almost zero. The real culprits are the large industrial nations, the US, China, India, Germany, and others, who together produce the majority of the world's greenhouse gas emissions. In fact, the G20 countries alone are responsible for 80% of global emissions. Tuvalu contributes almost nothing, and yet it pays the highest price. As Tuvalu's leaders have said, we are sinking, but so is everyone else. What this means for all of us. Friends, Tuvalu's tragedy is a warning bell for the entire planet. By 2050, 800 million people worldwide could be at risk from rising seas. Cities like Mumbai, Kolkata, and Dhaka could face devastating floods. The global economic cost of rising sea levels could reach $1 trillion. So, this isn't just about a tiny country in the Pacific. This is about all of us. The fight against climate change isn't tomorrow's problem, it's today's. The only solution is global action. Number 1, phasing out coal, oil, and gas. Number 2, shifting to renewable energy sources. Number 3, protecting forests, oceans, and ecosystems. We've done it before. Remember the ozone hole? When the world came together to phase out harmful chemicals, we healed the atmosphere. The same can be done for climate change, but only if we act now. So, as Tuvalu fights for survival, on land, in the cloud, and through international treaties, let's take their story as a wake-up call. Because if Tuvalu disappears, it won't be the last country to go. The question is, will we let this happen, or will we finally change the course of our planet's future? Thank you so much for watching. If you found this story powerful, share it with others, because Tuvalu's voice deserves to be heard by the world.